Bethany. Anybody that happens to be watching us, I'm Michelle Oliver and I'm here with Bethany Salter, and we are collaborating on some really cool stuff, aren't we, Bethany?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. And one of those things we're going to talk about today, which is we're doing a summit and we're doing events together. And we also do this 3-day, it's not a workshop because we're calling it a play shop, and whatever we call it is what it is. So it's a play shop. And I present on day 1 with vision, and then Bethany on day 2 with breakthrough. And it's not really breakthrough, it's more alignment, right? Head and heart alignment. Okay, which is much better because there's nothing to break through, as Bethany keeps telling me. Like, there's nothing to fix. There's nothing to break through, just align. So we're going to talk a little bit. I had something come up yesterday I wanted to just elaborate on. So how are you today? And can I tell everyone that you have 3 new little piggies?
Yes, I'm good. And I do. We didn't even know that our pig was pregnant. So that was a fun surprise.
They're so fat.
They are.
They're so scary.
Yeah. And she was I don't want to call her necessarily a rescue pig because she had a good home, but they just were looking to get rid of some animals and we took her in. And so, we didn't know. We already had a male pig, which was a rescue pig. So we didn't know, if they could or not. But yeah, it was a fun surprise to have some little piglets.
They're so cute. They are cutest little things. And okay, rescue pigs. So that'll be another talk. Yes. All the things you can rescue in the world, why not rescue a pig?
Right? Yeah.
So listen, yesterday it's interesting because I talked with this woman she's just a friend of mine that I really, really care about, who recently lost a business. And she was telling me like how important it was that she now pursue her true heart's desire, right? Her dream, the thing that she's always had inside of her. And that's usually how I start with people. Like, we start with vision, but often people don't even know really what they want. So we take a step back and then we focus quite a bit actually on values, because most people don't really even know what they value. Like, we have these knee-jerk reactions of, like, if somebody says, what are your values? You're like, oh, honesty, integrity, like, it's just like bam, bam, bam. But when you really take a hard, deep look at that, it can often be something really different. So I was having this conversation with her. I'm like, what really matters to you? And she kept saying, I've got to go live. I was talking about going live I did it last night because people are so scared of doing it. And she's like, I got to get my message out there. How do I do that? I just got to get out and talk to people. It's all that matters to me is to do this. All I'm passionate about. And then we really got talking about her values and what really, really matters. And so what comes up when we do that, and this is, I think, where I want to pass it to you, is, okay, with self-awareness, I can discover actually what I really value is just feeling safe, or just feeling secure. And at the moment, that is trumping my dream. That's trumping my passion. And I don't know why. So there's like cognitive dissonance there, because you lose a business, you're in pain, you see where you want to go, kind of based on something inside of you, but you can't take the first step.
Yeah.
Because there's something there. Do you want to speak to that?
Yes. Well, yes. And there's so many pieces to this, what you're talking about. But I even think of the first piece of that. She lost the business, right? So oftentimes when we have a loss in life, that's typically like the universe rearranging things for us so we can actually have what it is that we really want, that we're really ready to have show up. So so that's like the first piece, to really not like acknowledge that there is a loss, and go through the process of grieving, whatever that is, right? Like whatever process you need, all the feelings that come up with a loss, right? So that part's important too. But then it's like, okay, so then like you're saying, what is it that I value? What is it that I actually want? What is it that I actually need? What is this loss showing me? And a lot of times it's like, okay, there is a place where they don't feel loved or valued or secure, or right, there's one of those core things within us that we all, you know, have running often, which is usually the thing that runs our lives, which is why things keep showing up the same way. Because, oh, underneath all of that story or the loss of the business, I didn't feel valuable or loved or cared for, or whatever, you know, whatever it is, or good enough, right? And so this is where alignment comes in, because you can actually acknowledge, you really can get to that piece and figure out what it is. It's not hard. It's literally asking a few questions. And some people know right away, they just haven't acknowledged it, right? But, you know, if you don't know, it's like ask a few questions. And oftentimes it's really easy to just get to that knowing of what it is, right? And then when you're there, it's like, okay, cool. So this is the thing that I feel like I'm lacking. And what's really cool about knowing that is you don't have to go searching outside of yourself to find it, because it's everything that is within you already. And oftentimes we use the thing outside of ourselves, like we'll go back to the idea of the business, of losing the business. Like she may have felt like that was the thing that made her feel valuable, you know, and then she loses it and is in all this extra pain, like, oh my gosh, I'm really not good enough, I'm really not enough, or whatever her thing was, right? And because she lost the business. And like we do that with our stories, when in fact that story is just bringing us back to the awareness of coming back home to us, and that we have the power and we have the answers and everything within us. And I know like a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to hear that. Like, that's so stupid. You know, like if I already had it within me, why am I doing this? But the thing is we've spent most of our lives being programmed one way or another to believe that it was something outside of us. And that's why we look for other things. We look for relationships. We look for different things to fulfill that within us. So when you can actually get to that place of alignment and understanding it comes from within you, it's like things just happen way more magically and easily, you know? And it's like, it's a mixture of we'll call it the energetic, the emotional, and the physical. Like it's all of it. All of it's important, right? Like I don't like when somebody's like only focused on one part, like, oh, it's only energetic. No. We live in a physical body. There's a physical part to this, right? You still have to take action and there's things to do, right? Or, oh, it's only action oriented. No. There's an energetic and an emotional side to it too. So it's all of it is part of it. So I don't know if that really like answered what you were talking about, but that's kind of what came up.
Yeah, of course. So everything is within you, and with this alignment, things can happen much more easily and more gracefully. I want to just reiterate that, because I'm sitting here thinking as you're speaking too about how we kind of work together. So Bethany and Tiffany and I do this 3-day play shop, and everything, it's like I was just writing about this yesterday, how nothing is linear unless you're an accountant and you've just got one spreadsheet. And even then, I'm going to feed you information to prove it's not true. But so what happens is, it's like, I love the way that we will be working together, because everything just kind of flows from one to the other and it weaves back and forth. And it's like the infinity symbol, you know? But as you were speaking, I was thinking about the patterns. Like when you said everything is within you, and there are these patterns within us, right? Within our awareness, and I don't want to get too like metaphysical, but it's like you were saying, it's all aligned. Like we are everything. We are not one little box. We're not just our finger, you know, we are our body, our mind, our spirit, everything. And so the patterns And when you're saying it can easily be done, the patterns can literally, this is why I think play is so important. Mm-hmm. They can literally dissolve. And I was writing about this in bed this morning, actually. Pattern interrupts through play can assist in just its perspective, right? And then what happens when you feel so, like when I'm working with someone and we go into values, and this is largely about self-awareness, because you kind of have to step back and take a look at your patterns in your life.
Yeah.
From a new perspective, in order to even like, oh my gosh, I'm only blind where I'm blind, right?
Yeah.
But you're also blind to all the potential that you have.
Yes.
So when you step back and you go, okay, I'm going to take a new perspective, and play facilitates that. That's what it's for, I think. And then we get into the vision. Can you speak a little bit to God, I kind of lost my train. Oh, so we've got awareness, and then you come up with, oh my gosh, I can feel it in my body. This is what I've always really wanted to do. I just didn't have the courage or the time or whatever to even speak it. And then I pass the ball to you. And then how do you align the head and heart? Like, what are some, can you give some, I don't know, hate the word tricks, but
there's lots of different tools and ways to go about that or to experience that. But one of the things I really love to do that honestly for me is not only fun but super easy is like, you know, tapping into, what if you literally could tap into that version of yourself that already has that's already doing that, right? Yeah. And this is definitely more on the metaphysical energetic side, right? But there is a version of you that's already done what you really think that you want to do, the thing that's calling you to do. There's that version of you that exists. So what if you could tap into that and literally become that energy in the moment? Because all we ever have is right now. We're experiencing everything right now, you know, and it took me a while to actually like really get that on a level. So I'm going to say that again, like we are experiencing everything right now, not in the past, not in the future. Everything is happening right now. So there's a version of you from the past and from the future, right? If time doesn't exist, there's versions of you from all of it, right? But because of our limited way of being and the fact that we live life in a what appears to be in a linear fashion, right? As we grow older, right? That's what it appears to be, that like, so we get like stuck sometimes thinking, oh, well, you know, that past situation, it actually happened. And so like, it's, you know, it's gonna, I don't know how to get rid of that. Like it happened, you know, what can I do to change that? And it's like literally tapping into that future version of you that's already healed from it, right? And literally stepping into that. And there's different things that we can do with that to kind of embody it, right? And that's the kind of stuff that we like to bring in with the play shops, right? Like, and that's where play comes in, because really, I love that we chose the word play instead of work, because it's not about the work. It's not about it being hard and going into the resistance. It's about the resistance becoming easy and playing into all of it, right? Because we've done the resistance, we've done the hard stuff for how long? I mean,
it's just a pattern again.
Yeah.
And when it comes, I hope that people will just come and get to know us and come, like these are the things that we can talk about. And it's like this cerebral thing, right? It's like, oh, another concept, another strategy. And yet think of children, go sit at a playground, like after the first 15 minutes of craziness when they are released, where they're just like, you know, burning up energy. And then when they get into more creative play, the energy of that is always in alignment. And that it's so much about an energy and a pattern. And that's what we're able to implement in these live events much more readily, even than like an online event. Because although I love what we're doing, that we're going to do the 3-day thing, we're doing this every month, you guys. So or you gals, or you humans, or you children, whoever you are, you spiritual beings, whatever you are. So you can come join us. And and it's great, but it's still not the same as when you're like really live and able to move your body, because the body has this freedom and intelligence that facilitates really rapid change.
Yes.
There is stuff, and I know you do like somatic healing and stuff like that. There are many things we can do on the Zoom play shop, but live is like, that's where my heart is, because it's just so much more fun. So we want y'all to know about that too. But
and it's really powerful in a group of people too. There's something about when you get people together, the power that's there, the energy that's there, when we're all like going through similar things and we're all using the tools together and playing with it together, and it's like so magical. I mean, and really a lot of fun.
Yeah, because you create your own mini paradigm. It's like a miniature pendulum or mass consciousness or whatever.
Yeah.
And you know what's interesting about that though? People, well, this will be for another conversation, because I actually have a book coming out that talks about a lot of this stuff. But when you have a group of people, like, think about it when you have and this is where I know that what you're doing will help people with facilitate their play. Because if you come with an existing pattern where maybe you can't play, or you feel like, I don't want to join, and the more people join, have you experienced this either with yourself or someone else, where you're like, okay, well, if they're doing that, like, I'm going to sit over here and not do that. Like, I'm not going to go do that crazy thing. Like, I'm not weird. Or if you've ever been to those workshops, with all due respect to these people, where they're like, okay, now we're going to laugh for 3 minutes. And you're just like, what? No, I'm not going to just laugh for 3 minutes. Like, there's a way it's a relationship. It's a relationship with each other and with yourself, and with allowing yourself to move into that freedom of play. So sometimes I just want to acknowledge, because I've seen it, it can feel like, oh, they're putting this thing on me where now I have to be fun. It's not like that. It's not like that at all.
Yeah. And if you're feeling that, then honestly, the thing that I would think to be to really be with it, and to not just force yourself to join something, like really be with what you're feeling. Like, are you really feeling like this is really stupid and I don't want to do it? Like, don't do it then. And really be with those feelings. So like, wow, what is this? What's coming up for me? What is this resistance? Like everything, can show us something, everything that we're experiencing. And sometimes we're picking up on other people's things as well. Like, we are all so much more aware and telepathic and everything else than we even realize, So when again, it's like, ask the questions. What is this? Why am I feeling this way? Is this mine? Am I picking up on somebody else's, or do I really feel something about this? And questions are so important to become aware. And then things can shift so easily from those questions. You might just be like, yeah, I really am not going to do this exercise or whatever it is. I really am not going to laugh for 3 minutes, and that's totally okay. You get to choose for you. Sometimes it's about you setting a boundary that works for you, because there's been a lot of us that, in the past didn't know how to set boundaries, and we did things we didn't want to do, or we felt forced to do. And so maybe this is your moment of being like, nope, I'm going to set my boundary and not do it. And that's important too.
Exactly. That is so important too. And that's when it comes back to, if the foundation is values, when you set that foundation with values and vision, everything else, it's like, you don't have to trip over the blades of grass anymore. You can move right into head, and it's just perfect. It's the foundation, and then head and heart alignment, and then you take the action, and it just continues to loop, and then it goes out and out into ever widening circles of fun energy.
Yes,
and
exactly.
Then you're literally creating a new pattern, a new energy pattern, a new movement, a new scaffolding, like, for your life, of where you really want to go. And And it's really, 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 life is like, it doesn't have to be so arduous and painful. It really doesn't.
No, I think we're moving out of that. Like, and it's not because things aren't going to happen, right? So-called bad things. It's not that like nothing's ever going to happen that's going to be uncomfortable or hard or whatever, but it's just that we're moving into less resistance of it. I would say is a good way to put it, you know, where it's like, oh, maybe that's not as difficult as I thought it was, or as it was in the past for me, you know?
It's just true. And this is really the message that we're bringing with this is like, these are, yes, we have techniques and tools and games and all of that to assist and facilitate this change and growth and self-awareness and all of it. And the end result. I mean, I could talk about this for like 10 years.
Yeah.
So I should probably pick.
Well, the other thing I want to say
another day, but
yeah. And really quick, the other thing I wanted to say too is we don't have the answers for everybody. We're not here to tell you what is right for you and the answers to your life. We're here to help you really become aware of what is right for you. Like for you to be empowered to know for yourself what it is that you want and where you're going and what you're choosing in life and what's working and what's not working. Because that's not for us to decide for you or anybody else. You are the one in charge of your life. Nobody else is living your life but you. So I just wanted to like throw that out there too.
No, I love that you did. And I think, you know, I work with a lot of women in like older midlife, and a quality that I've observed is that people like know that now. They're like, you can't tell, like my husband did, my corporate did, my kids did, and now it's my time. And yet very often it's almost a reaction, you know, it's like, it's a reaction instead of a just knowing and I don't know, like stepping more into sovereignty. So it's something to be aware of, like where, like, yes, the freedom is there, but you don't have to create resistance to have it. Like, you don't have to be a rebel. You don't have to be a rebel. You just can just like step into yourself. If you want to be a rebel, like that could be a fun thing to do, or like a, you know, a way to play with it.
Yeah.
I think that, oh, and the other thing I wanted to say in response to this important thing that you said is, and I'll put a post today about this so people can read, but a lot of people don't understand that's really what coaching is. Everything you said, Bethany, it's like asking the questions, inviting, creating the environment, setting the stage. We're not telling you who you are or what to, you know, what you need to do or where you're going. It's really creating the environment with the support of the other people too. And that's where the magic happens.
Yes.
Isn't it true that the magic happens like with the group that you're with?
Yes. Exactly. That's why
it's fun. I hope you guys can come. You just froze. Is that me or you?
It's me. I think I just had I'm on my phone. I think I just had a call come in. Am I there?
Oh yeah, you're here. I'm so impressed that you can, with people that do everything on their phone. Terrible with that. So, yeah, what were you going to say?
I don't know. I lost my train of thought, but I think that's good. I love that you kind of summed it up with that. You know, it's like, that's what coaching is, you know, empowering you. And if somebody's telling you what's right for you, I mean, there's certain types of coaching where, you know, if it's like a certain financial thing or whatever, that you might need to know exacts, right? But for the most part, you know, you should be, it's more about like people letting you know for yourself, not telling you exactly what to do, right? Or who to be.
Then you've hired a consultant. Like if somebody's telling you exactly what to do, you've hired a consultant. If there's a difference between consulting and mentorship and coaching. And therapy, right? Yeah. Although there is a lot of bleed through, there's a lot of crossover and stuff like, but essentially this is why we're doing the coaching collective, which is a whole nother thing, but you can come to this free summit and learn more about what is coaching who are good, how do you be a good coach? How do you hire a coach and all that stuff? And that's just something we're doing free because we love you all. And then hopefully you'll come to our play shop, come play with us, and then come to Sedona, and then where after that? Santa Barbara and Croatia someday.
Yes.
Right? Croatia someday. We don't know when, but I'm planting that seed over and over until it grows.
Yeah, you should when we get done, you should put the link in the comments so they can sign up for the free collective series and get to know all sorts of different coaches from this.
We have so many amazing niches, like everything from really solid, excellent business to energy to, I haven't even watched all the interviews. Who are some of your people that you interviewed?
Yeah, a lot of the ones I interviewed are definitely like more into the energy world and like consciousness. We've got people that do like cacao ceremonies, which are amazing, like all sorts of different energy work.
That was cacao, by the way, not cow ceremonies.
Right. Cacao.
That was from a woman who's breeding pigs accidentally. It could be like Bethany and the cow ceremony.
Oh, that'd be bad. That sounds bad, doing a cow ceremony.
That sounds really bad, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
That's like a carnivore feast or something. Okay, now this is really bad. We should go. This is deteriorating. So energy and relationships, finances, who else? Like some very, very well-known coaches, all the way to some coaches that you may never heard of, but that have so much to offer that we really just resonate, and we want to share that information. So anyway, you can make your own decisions about what you think about it. Just come and join us and check it out.
Yes, awesome. Thanks, Michelle. Thanks for thanks for having me on.
Well, of course, we're having each other on, and you would have come last night, but you were in the bathtub. So next time, we're going to do this like every day, just because it's so much fun and we want to connect with everyone, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, okay. Have a beautiful day, love. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Love you.